pitches. Gary lifetime has a record of 1 win and no losses over Seattle. He got that earlier this year in relief, and it was his first major league victory. It was in the opening series out in Seattle. He came in relief and did a sterling job and has been used by manager Gene Mauch as a starter and reliever. And with Dave Gold still experiencing back problems, Gary is in there to start tonight. He'll face Julio Cruz to start things off, and we will bring in Harmon Killebrew to start it off.
Thank you very much, Joe, and good evening, everybody, on a beautiful evening here at Metropolitan Stadium. Julio Cruz at the plate. Julio, you saw his batting average, .251. Takes the first pitch for a strike from Gary Serum. Cruz has 1 home run and 19 RBIs. There's a fastball on the outside part of the plate, 0-2. There you see the temperature at game time, 83 degrees with a northwest wind of 14. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Serum strikes out Cruz to lead this game off.
Midwest Federal and WTCN-TV have purchased the broadcast rights of Minnesota Twins baseball games for the pleasure and convenience of our viewing audience. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of the Minnesota Twins, WTCN-TV, or Midwest Federal.
Shortstop Craig Reynolds, .293, 3 home runs and 34 RBIs on the year. And Reynolds was in the top 10 in the American League hitters for a long time this season. There's another strike by Gary Serum. 21-year-old Gary Serum. Serum's a tall, lanky right-hander. 6'1", 160-pounder. There's a breaking ball, a check swing by Reynolds. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 down. We're just underway here at Metropolitan Stadium. The Minnesota Twins and the Seattle Mariners. Twins have had a tough time this year against the Seattle Ball Club, winning just 5 out of 13 games. That one's outside and high. 1-2.
Boy, Harmon, remember when we saw Reynolds in our first series of the season? He'd gotten a hit in the first game and then had gone 21 straight trips without a hit, and didn't seem like he was ever going to be around 290, but that's where he is.
Been very consistent all year. 2-2 now. Last night, the Twins lost a tough ball game. As you look at the on-deck hitter, Rupert Jones. Now there are 2 batters on deck, and if the umpires see that one, they're going to make one of them go to the dugout. Breaking ball hit on the ground. That's Bobby Randall. He'll have to hurry. He did, and he got Reynolds at first for out number 2.
Batting third, number 9.
2 down here in the first inning, and it'll bring up the center fielder, Rupert Jones. Jones, .244 with 4 home runs and 24 RBIs on the season. In last night's ball game, Jones went 1 for 6. And he really hasn't had the kind of a year he did last year for Seattle, Joe. He just has not been able to get on track. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Well, he had to go in the hospital back in June. He had an appendectomy and came back just about a little over a month later and is playing again. So he's a tough guy.
Fastball, it's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 down here in the first inning.
I go to bed for a week with an earache.
Seattle came into this ball game with a record of 41 wins and 72 losses. There's another strike, 1-2. And they're in last place in the American League Western Division, 21.5 games behind Kansas City. There's Willie Norwood in left field, and he makes the play for out number 3. For the Mariners in the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. So after 1/2 inning of play.
Defensively, if we may, at first base, it's Dan Meyer. The second baseman, Julio Cruz. At shortstop, Craig Reynolds. Third baseman is Larry Milbourne. Left field is John Hale. The center fielder, Rupert Jones. Leon Roberts out in right. Catcher tonight is Bill Plummer. And the pitcher is 24-year-old Rick Honeycutt, 6'1", 190-pounder. He came to the Mariners from the Pittsburgh organization. 4-6 is one-loss record and a 4.48 ERA. This is his 18th appearance of the year. 16th start. He has 2 complete games, 1 shutout, 80 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 47 runs, 80 hits, walked 36, and struck out 30. So he's had some control problems. He has hit 2 batters and been charged with 2 wild pitches. Honeycutt has a 1-0 lifetime mark against the Twins. Beat them in their first series out there this year. Last time out, he lasted just a little over 3 innings and was bombed pretty severely by the Twins, although he was not charged with a win or a loss in that game.
Twins leadoff hitter is Bombo Rivera. Bombo 282, 2 home runs and 15 RBIs. Honeycutt with primarily 2 pitches, a sinking fastball and a curveball. This one is chopped on the ground to the right side. The first baseman Meyer to Honeycutt. 1 away. So Bombo Rivera is out, and it'll bring up the number 2 man in the Twins batting order, a guy that's had a little trouble lately, Rod Carew. And it's kind of difficult to say that, Joe, when you see that batting average up there.
Yeah.
At 323, and to say that he's been having some troubles, but he has.
Well, he's dropped behind Al Oliver in the batting race now by 1/1000th of a percentage point. Last night, Rod went 0 for 7, and it's only the 2nd time in his career that he's ever done that. He did it against the Yankees in 1976.
First pitch by Honeycutt is outside, ball 1. Rod has 5 home runs and 53 RBIs as you look at Honeycutt. Ball 2, low and away.
Herman, I think we've commented on this before, but now the first 2 pitches that Honeycutt threw him were pretty quick, but he's seen an awful lot of off-speed deliveries this year.
Drops this one down. Honeycutt to Meyer. Carew is down for out number 2. That wasn't one of the better bunts by Rod. He has probably not bunted as much this year as he has in past seasons.
He has 11 bunt base hits this year. He had over 20 last year.
Here's the Twins center fielder, Danny Ford. Danny, 299 with 10 home runs and 64 RBIs. Danny just having an outstanding year for the Twins. Last night, 2 for 5 in the ball game against Seattle. That pitch is low for ball 1. Danny also last night drove in 3 runs. And if you didn't hear, the Twins had a tough one. They lost in 14 innings. Carl Keel in the Twins third base coaching box. And an outstanding job of relief by Johnny Sutton last night. There's Carl.
He went 9.
9 complete innings Sutton pitched, and he shut him out. Perzanowski came on and got the loss. Roy Smalley was a big hero last night, but they lost the game. There's a let-up pitch outside and high. 2 balls and a strike to Dan Ford. We're in the bottom of the first inning at Metropolitan Stadium. No score in the game. Dan Ford for hit number 1 of this ball game. So with 2 down, the Twins have their first base runner. And it'll bring up the designated hitter, Jose Morales. Jose, 311 with 1 home run and 24 RBIs as he comes to the plate.
Jose is on the verge of setting a new Twins record for pinch hits in a season. He has 11. Twins record is 13, held by Rich Reese, so Jose is just 2 away from that now.
Jose has been used as a designated hitter and a pinch hitter this year after being acquired from the Expos. And he caught a little bit the other night out in California. Two down, Ford at first. Pitch is high, ball one. Several games underway in the American League. Milwaukee is at New York, no score after one inning of play. Cleveland at Boston, they're tied up 3-3 after two. Texas at Detroit, it's Detroit 1, Texas nothing. Line foul into the bleachers down the left field line.
Harmon, in a Cleveland-Boston game, they're just through 2 innings and already 3 home runs. 2 for Cleveland, Grubb and Thornton. Thornton's his 22nd, and Fisk got a 3-run blast, his 16th for Boston in that game. So that left field wall taking a bit of a pounding.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Jose Morales. Center field, Rupert Jones will have to run to get this one way back near the wall, and he got it. A nice play by the center fielder, Rupert Jones, to rob Jose Morales of an extra base hit and probably a run. So after 1 inning of play here at the Met, it's the Twins nothing, the Mariners nothing.
Did not waste any time as Jose Morales picked on a Rick Honeycutt fastball and gave it a ride to the deepest part of the park. Jones took off with the crack of the bat, and you can tell right there that he's got it measured. Not looking at the wall at all. Makes the catch, and then bangs into that padded wall. And what a blessing that padding has been on that wall out there. Seen some fine catches in this park since they put that up.
Here's one of the hottest hitters in the American League right now. In fact, the hottest right-handed hitter in the American League, Leon Roberts, the Mariners right fielder. Roberts has really come on strong. He misses this one, however. A breaking pitch by Serum, strike one. Roberts 311 as he stands to the plate. 17 home runs and 64 RBIs. That's all tops on the Mariner Ball Club. A ball and a strike now. We're in the top of the second inning, no score in the game. Let-up pitch is fouled past the third base coach, Jim Busby.
You know, Harmon, with the year this guy's having, if they'd gotten years out of Jones and Stanton like they got a year ago, Mariners would have had a really tough club to reckon with.
Little chopper. Larry Wolf will have to hurry. He does. Safe at first.
Well, Roberts has better speed than what you would anticipate from a man his size. I talked to Larry Wolf about him. Larry played with Roberts at Charleston last year, and he says his size is deceptive. But now this is his second infield hit of this series. And Wolf came up, made a good throw and a good pickup, good strong throw. There's the ball, there's the foot, and pretty much of a deadlock, and the decision went to the Leon Roberts, the runner. He can move.
Bruce Botke, the designated hitter, lines this one to right center field. Roberts on his way to second. He'll try to go to third. The throw in is cut off by the shortstop, Roy Smalley. So Botke with a base hit now. And we have runners at first and third and nobody out. That'll bring up the first baseman, Danny Meyer. Botke at first, Roberts at third.
You remember the other night in California when Gary came in, they went first ball hunting on him right away. Botke did it too.
Danny Meyer, 218, 6 home runs and 42 RBI. Fastball that misses outside. Serum throws a fastball and a slider mostly. And he's most effective when he keeps the ball down. There's a slider. 1-1 out of Dan Meyer with nobody out. Runners at first and third. The outfield plays Meyer deep and straight away. Smalley at short and Randall at second are in double play depth. The third baseman, Larry Wolf, is in on the grass. Now he moves back a step or two, about even with the bag. 1-1 pitch. Pop up Roy Smalley over and puts it away for out number 1. So Meyer is retired. That's 1 away, and it'll bring up the left fielder, John Hale. Hale, with just a 181 batting average, he has 4 home runs and 19 RBIs, but he made a great play out here last night to save the ball game for the Mariners.
Yeah, that ball that Rod hit looked like about 3 more innings worth with a runner at second base.
Breaking ball to Hale is strike 1. National League scores: 1 complete game, 2 complete games. Pittsburgh at Chicago. Pittsburgh 9, Chicago 5. There's a foul off. 0-2. St. Louis over Philadelphia 2-0. And after 2 innings of play, Atlanta nothing, Cincinnati nothing. They're playing extra innings in Montreal. It's the Expos 6 and New York nothing. That's after 12. That must be a complete game. That one's fouled out of play. We'll check that score for you. No balls and 2 strikes to the left fielder, John Hale. 1 down, runners at first and third. We're in the top of the 2nd inning, no score in the game.
It's after 2, Harmon.
After 2 innings, there's an extra 1 up there.
Yeah.
Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gary Sear making his 13th start of the year for the Twins. He's been in 23 other ball games. Breaking ball, it's high, 2-2 now. Early in April, Gary beat Seattle up in the Kingdome. Beat Tom House. High fly ball to right field. This should score a run. Roberts tagging at third base. And here he comes as Bumble Rivera catches the ball, and the Mariners take the lead 1-0. So it's a sacrifice fly for John Hale.
The third baseman, Larry Milborn.
Well, with 2 down, it'll bring up the third baseman, Larry Milborn. Milborn, a switch hitter. Hitting left-handed, he's hitting .217, left-handed right-handed .270 for a combined total of .245, 2 home runs and 15 RBIs. Fastball, it misses, ball 1. Bruce Bottke on at first base with 2 down. Little chopper that's fouled at the plate, 1-1. Richie Garcia behind the plate, Jimmy Evans at first, Durwood Merrill at second, and Marty Springstead at third of the umpires tonight. Garcia working with the inside protector. Most of the umpires in the American League have gone to that, Joe. Fastball, this one's up the middle, it'll go for a base hit. Bottke on his way to third. So Larry Milburn is on with the third Mariner hit of the inning. A single up the middle.
Number 3, the catcher, Bill Plummer.
And with 2 down, we now have runners at first and third again. And Bill Plummer at the plate. Plummer completes the Mariner batting order. He's hitting .242, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Breaking ball, strike 1. Gary Sherm, I think we've told you many times, was born in Fargo, North Dakota. now lives in Alexandria, Minnesota. There's another breaking pitch. This one misses. 1-1. Cleveland at Boston. It's 3 complete now. It's the Red Sox 8 and Cleveland 4. One ball and 2 strikes to Bill Plummer. With 2 down here in the top of the second inning, the Mariners lead 1-0. Got a lot of home runs in that ball game between Cleveland and Boston. Red Sox with 3. 1-2 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss, and Serum records his first strikeout of the ball game. For the Mariners in the second inning, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors by the Twins, and 2 men left. An inning and a half, it's the Mariners 1, the Twins nothing. Joe, I'd like to correct myself. I said it was strikeout number 1 when Gary Serum fanned Bill Plummer. That was strikeout number 2 for Gary Serum. He struck out Julio Cruz to lead off the ball game. That's about it in the second inning. Twins trail by 1. It'll bring up the shortstop, Roy Smalley. Roy now with 15 home runs and 56 RBIs. He fouls this one off to the left side. 286 is Roy's average. And from the right side of the plate, he's hitting 270. Left side, 296. There's a sinking fastball. It's low, 1-2. Roy just having an outstanding year, and he's matured not only at the plate but in the field. This one's hit sharply to the third baseman. To Myers at first, 1 away. Ball was hit sharply to Cruz, but he stayed in front of it and threw to first to get Roy for out number 1. Here's the left fielder, Willie Norwood. Norwood, 266, 6 home runs and 33 RBIs. There's a pitch that's inside, ball 1. Norwood has been alternated in left field with Rich Childs against right and left-hand hitting for pitching. 1-1 now. There's the Mariner dugout.
That Romo messing around in there?
Yeah, it looks like him. Wes Stock, the pitching coach, next to manager Darrell Johnson. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Norwood starts to bunt at it, then pulls the bat back. 2 balls in the strike. 1 down here in the second inning. Seattle 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. The Twins no runs on 1 hit and no errors. Larry Wolf is the on-deck hitter. Fastball by Honeycutt is hit deep to left field. Bye-bye, home run for Norwood.
Well, Willie Norwood, who earlier in the year banged out his 3 home runs in a very short span of time, has been connecting with regularity of late too. He has now picked up 4 over the last week and a half, and now has 7 on the season. And there wasn't much doubt about this one from the minute it left his bat. Way up in the air, deep into the left field stands. You see the left fielder Hale go back, and it's way up in there, about 15 rows back. And we have an instant conference out on the mound. You saw Harmon talking just a while ago about Romo and Wes Stock and Darrell Johnson talking, and you could see him gesturing about various pitches in there. There's the mark on Willie's home run, 386 feet or 117 meters. And home run number 7 for Willie. And evidently Rick Honeycutt should have been in on the conversation, Harmon, because the ball that Stock was designing broke away from Willie, and this one didn't.
1 away, and quickly the Twins and the Mariners are tied at 1-1. Here's the Twins third baseman, Larry Wolf. Larry, 229, picked the fastball low for a ball. 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. Twins came into the game with a 46-63 record. There's a changeup, strike one. They are tied for 5th place in the American League Western Division with the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox tonight are battling the Kansas City Royals. Fastball fouled off to the right side, 1-2. Last night the White Sox beat Kansas City 5-3 as the Twins lost to the Mariners, so they're all tied up in 5th place.
White Sox are supposed to throw an ex-Twin, Mike Proley, tonight against Paul Splittorff.
Oakland shut out California last night, 1-0. Rinko pitching a shutout. This one's fouled off into the third base coaching box. Carl Keel making the play.
Somebody was talking about, said 4 of Oakland's wins over California this year have been shutouts.
Texas losing to Detroit after 2, 1-0. And the Rangers lost to the International League All-Stars last night, 9-8 in an exhibition game.
Did Pete Redfern get in that game?
He was scheduled to pitch. I'm not sure whether he got in or not.
He was the 3rd leading vote getter on that squad.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We're all tied 1-1. Fastball fouled off by Wolf, and the count will hold 2-2. And again, we'd like to extend our good wishes to manager Gene Mock, who is in the hospital tonight. We hope Gene's watching the ball game.
Oh, they got good TV setups over there at St. Mary's. They'll take care of them. Stay off the foot, Skip.
Get it well. There's a look from our center field camera. 2-2 pitch is low. Count goes to 3-2 now on Larry. Rick Honeycutt on the mound with a 4-6 record. Honeycutt is 1-0 this year against the Twins. Fastball, and he didn't get it. Strikeout number 1 for Rick Honeycutt.
Number 14, the catcher, Glenn Borgman.
2 away, and it'll bring up the catcher, Glenn Borgman. Borgie with a 207 average, 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. Pitch is low for a ball. Borgie last year missed a great deal of the season because of a knee injury. That one's way low, 2-0.
Harmon, you and I were talking about that today, about coming off surgery, especially in a joint like the elbow or the knee. It's never as strong the first year as you think it should be.
2-0 pitch. There's a strike. I think you're right, Joe. It always seemed to me that it took at least a year to get over a surgery like that, and Glenn right now seems to be getting stronger and stronger all the time. And
you know, you work at it, you use the weights and everything else, but I think you're really afraid to test it, and you might do it the first time without really knowing you're doing it, and then once you do that, you tend to let it out, but it takes a while. You hold back.
3 balls and a strike to Glenn Borgman. There's a strike on the inside corner. Good to see an old familiar face at the ballpark, Tommy Johnson.
Yeah.
Tommy's around and working out every day now, trying to get his arm back in shape. Half swing to Borgie, and he's called out on strikes. So for the Twins in the 2nd inning, they come up with a big run, a home run by Willie Norwood. 1 hit, no errors by the Mariners, and nobody left. After 2 complete now, it's the Twins 1 and the Mariners 1.
An easy one for you this evening. Okay, you should get this. Who holds the Major League record for Grand Slam home runs hit during an entire Major League career? We'll have the answer for you a little bit later on. The Major League record for Grand Slam home runs hit during an entire Major League career.
Top of the 3rd inning, and we move to the top of the order again. Julio Cruz, who was a strikeout victim his first time up. Takes a breaking pitch for a strike. We told you that the Mariners have won 8 out of 13 ball games they've played against the Twins this year. This one's hit foul down the third baseline. Larry Wolf in pursuit. Against the Eastern Division ball clubs, Seattle is 17-34, but they played a little bit better against the West, 24-38. Outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the third baseman, Julio Cruz. Count holds at 1-2. When we started this ball game, there was a little bit of sunshine at the ballpark. That's all gone now. Breaking ball hit up the middle. Bobby Randall quickly to his right. Out at first. Nice play.
That was a base hit until Gary Serum managed to tip it with his glove and slow it down enough for Bob Randall to get over in front of it. The ball appeared to be headed right back up the middle. Serum with some pretty good quick reactions tipped it. That slowed it up and enabled Bob Randall to get over in front of it. And Bobby got some extra mustard on the throw and just beat Cruz, who can fly, to the bag.
So credit Gary Serum with an assist. It'll go 1-4-3 for out number 1 here in the third. Here's the shortstop, Craig Reynolds, takes the pitch outside for a ball. Reynolds grounded out 4-3 his first time up. Steps to bunt, fouls it off. 1-1. Serum with a record of 4 wins and 5 losses. Would like to even it up tonight at 5-5. He's 1-0 against the Seattle Mariners this year. And that's his lifetime record against them. There's a good fastball that Reynolds swings at, doesn't get. 1-2. Gary Serum was with Orlando last year for a bit of the season. He was 2-3 there, and then came to Tacoma. He was 4-0, and then up to the Twins, where he pitched quite a bit. This one is lined down the right field line, just inside the line. Reynolds on his way to second. Now he's going to go for 3 as the right fielder, Bombo Rivera, cannot come up with the ball. Now they've got him hung up at third base. Attacked by Wolf, and Reynolds is out.
Well, there were several mistakes on this play. Bombo Rivera has just a horrendous time trying to pick this one up out in right field. Looked like it was covered with butter or something or other. I guess in this day and age, margarine. And you see, he finally comes up with it. Now he drops it again. Says, where is it? Okay, come back here. Now I got it. Fires the ball in, and the third base coach tried to hold the runner up, Reynolds, and he couldn't get back. And Rod Carew's throw over to Larry Wolf. He bluffed the throw to the catcher and nailed him about halfway down the line.
2 away, and the hitter is Rupert Jones.
No error charged on the play.
Triple all the way for Craig Reynolds. There's a changeup in there, 1-1.
Put out will go 9-3-5-2. Somebody else in there?
1 ball and 2
9-3-5.
strikes.
He did not make the throw to Boardman. 9-3-5.
Right.
Dropped the last one off there. Fake me out, too.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Rupert Jones with 2 down here in the top of the third inning. Fastball is fouled off to the left side. Changeup is high, 2-2. Well, that ball was hit sharply down the line by Reynolds, and it had a sure double written all over it. Way inside, 3-2. And then when Rivera had a little trouble coming up with it, Reynolds went to third base and then got hung up. And a fine throw by the right fielder Rivera to the cutoff man Rod Carew. And they trapped him there. Larry Wolf making the putout. 3-2 pitch to Jones. Fouled off. Count will hold 3-2. Rupert Jones, the first draft choice of the Seattle Mariners when they went to the expansion. This one's hit sharply, but just foul down the first baseline. And a ball boy retrieving it. Rupert Jones was acquired in the expansion draft from Kansas City. This one's hit foul again, right past Veda Pinson in the first base coaching box. Another foul. Rupert Jones was up with Kansas City a little bit in 1976. In fact, he was in 28 ball games, but last year he had an outstanding year, 24 home runs. This one's hit to left field. Norwood will have to hustle on this one, and nobody can get it. And Jones will go into second base for a double. Well, the shortstop Roy Smalley went out, and went back was Wolf.
Well, all three Twins went after it. Willie Norwood, Wolf, and Randall, and dropped right in between all three of them. Triple and a double back-to-back, and so far the Mariners with nothing to show for it on the board.
Well, with two out and Jones at second base, it'll bring up the big right fielder, Leon Roberts. Roberts with an infield hit is first time up. Slider outside, ball one. Twins played Roberts deep and straight away with Jones at second. High fly ball to right field. Over comes Rivera and puts it away for out number 3 for the Mariners in the third inning. No runs on 2 hits. No errors by the Twins and 1 man left. 2 innings and a half now. It's the Mariners 1 and the Twins 1.
Harmon are going to have another helmet day out here at the Met this coming Sunday for that doubleheader with the Oakland A's. The first 8,000 youngsters, 16 years of age or under, who come through the gates with a paid admission will receive a free Twins helmet. That's this Sunday. Doubleheader between the Oakland A's and the Minnesota Twins, and the second helmet day of the season, some 8,000 Twins helmets to be given away.
Boy, they're nice looking helmets too, Joe. Every place we go around the league, you see a lot of the Twins helmets showing up in the grandstands. Here's Bobby Randall, the Twins second baseman. Pitches inside for a ball. Bobby hitting .278, no home runs and 15 RBIs. Ball 1 and strike 1 now to Randall. Bobby is alternated at second base with Rob Wilfong against right left-hand pitching. This one is fouled off to the right side. Count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the third inning here at Metropolitan Stadium. We're all tied up 1-1. Mariners scored first in the top of the second. The Twins came back. Willie Norwood with a home run, his 7th of the year, to tie the ball game. Fastball inside, 2-2 now. Kansas City has taken the lead over Chicago 4-2 after 2 innings of play. Popped up to the infield. Reynolds, the shortstop, 1 away. Texas at Detroit. It's 1-1 after 4. So that completes the Twins batting order, and it'll bring up the top of the order again, Bombo Rivera. Rivera grounded out his first time up. No score after 4 innings of play in New York between the Brewers and the Yankees. 4 complete in Boston. The Red Sox 8, Cleveland 4. Rivera with a swing. He fouls it off. Strike 1.
Do you remember how many grand slams you had as a Twin?
Yep.
How many?
Well, now, when you say it as a Twin, I'm not sure.
How many do you think?
You're talking about the Griffith organization or as a Minnesota Twin?
I don't have the Washington ones.
Okay. I think it was about 11.
You had 10 as a Twin.
Okay. No balls and 2 strikes.
We don't credit
Rivera.
those other teams with anything.
I'll tell you an interesting thing about one of them.
Okay.
There you see the sign given by the catcher, Bill Plummer. There's another strike, and Rivera takes a called strike 3. That's the 3rd strikeout for Rick Honeycutt. Rod Carew at the plate. Rod grounded out his first time up. And as Joe told you, Rod, for the first time in a long time, does not lead the American League in hitting. Al Oliver is a percentage point out in front. First pitch is a ball. In 1956,
Okay.
I hit my first Grand Slam home run in the old ballpark at Kansas City. This one's line to left center field, a base hit for Carew. And Rod is on with the Twins' 3rd hit of the game. 1956, I hit a home run against San Diego in Kansas City as you look at Carew hit this line drive, and the next day they sent me to the minor leagues.
Doesn't pay to do it.
No.
Did you ask him why?
I was wondering why, but he never told me why. Carew at first base with 2 out. It'll bring up the center fielder, Danny Ford.
Maybe you didn't hit it far enough. I suppose that's it.
Ford singled his first time up. This one's lined to center field, but Jones is there and puts it away for out number 3. For the Twins in the 3rd, no runs on 1 hit. No errors by the Mariners and 1 left. 3 complete now. It's the Twins 1 and the Mariners 1.
Cleveland still 8-4 after 4. Fisk, Rice, and Evans have all homered for Boston. Grubb and Thornton for Cleveland. Baltimore trails Toronto 4-3. That's after 6. Carty and Woods have homered for Toronto, and May for Baltimore. Milwaukee and the Yankees 0-0 after 3. Texas and Detroit tied after 4, 1 apiece.
Thank you, Joe. First pitch to Bruce Botke is a strike. We're at the top of the 4th inning.
Another game underway, Harmon. Excuse me. 4-2. Kansas City leads Chicago after 2.5 now.
Okay. Ball and a strike to Bruce Botke here in the top of the 4th inning. We're all tied up 1-1. Slider is hit to left field by Botke. Willie Norwood for out number 1. Well, with Botke out of the way, it'll bring up the first baseman, Danny Meyer. Meyer popped up to Roy Smalley his first time up. There's a changeup for a strike. Danny Meyer was originally with the Detroit Tigers. He was an outfielder, first baseman over there. Tries to drop one down, is foul at the plate, 0-2. Gary Serum on the mound for the Twins. Gary, of course, has been used as a starter. And for manager Gene Mock has come out of the bullpen a lot of times this year. 0-2 pitch. Fly ball left field. Willie Norwood. 2 away. Oh, a 2 away. It'll bring up the left fielder, John Hale. Hale had a sacrifice fly his first time up to score the Mariners' only run of the game. That was in the top of the 2nd inning. The Twins came right back in the bottom of the 2nd. and tied it up on the strength of a home run by Willie Norwood. Low and inside, ball one. Twins 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. The Mariners 1 3-0. That one's low, 2-0. John Hale was originally with the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. He was up a little bit with the Dodgers last year. He was in 79 ball games. Hit a couple of home runs. One hopper, a great play by Bobby Randall to Carew. Over the head of Carew, and Glenn Borgman backing up. And the ball goes into the Twins dugout.
Glenn Borgman made a heck of a try to keep it from going into the dugout. It eluded him and just barely rolled over the step, and the plate umpire, Rich Garcia, hustled over there and awarded Hale second base. Fine play by Randall, but his throw over the head of Rod Carew. Look at that dive. Made a good stop. Rushed his throw a little bit too much and threw it over the head of Rodney. They'd have had him, I believe. And it's going to be charged as an error.
A base hit for Danny Ford, or Danny. I'll get it in a minute.
John Hale.
John Hale. And an error on the second baseman, Bobby Randall, on the throw, allowing him to go to second base. Larry Milbourne with the first pitch. Strike one. And I said it was a hit and an error. They just got a hit up, or an error up there so far, Joe.
Maybe charging him a two-base error. It appeared that the throw would have had him. A tough play.
Breaking ball inside, a ball and a strike. 2 out. John Hale at second base. And we're tied here in the top of the fourth, 1-1. Now there goes a hit up on the board.
Okay, now they give him the hit. So
it's a hit and an error. Bobby Randall to Rod Carew for out number 3. For the Mariners in the fourth, no runs on 1 base hit, 1 error by the Twins, 1 man left. In the fourth inning here at Metropolitan Stadium, Jose Morales, the DH, will lead it off for the Twins. Twins 1 run on 6, or the Mariners 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. The Twins 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. Morales fly to the center fielder, his first time up. Pitch is a little bit high for a ball. Now we've got time by the hitter, Morales. Through the first 3 innings, Honeycutt, along with the 3 hits that he's allowed, has struck out 3 and walked nobody. Now, one of those 3 hits was a home run by Norwood. That one's low, 2-0. Foul off, 2-1. Joe is interested to see, there you'll see Carl Keel at third base. Interested to see Roy Smalley's comment today about why he felt he was hitting so well. That he had a different approach to hitting this year. He found out early in the year that he had a little power. And so he goes up there to the plate with a definite purpose in mind. As Morales fouls it off to the left side, 2-2.
Well, I tell you one thing, even his ground ball outs are adventures now. He hits the ball hard.
And he's hitting well from both sides of the plate.
I was checking something today, Harmon. You're talking about Roy Smalley. I'll tell you in a minute.
2-2 pitch to Morales is hit in the hole into right field. Well, Morales leads off the Twins' fourth with a base hit.
You recall earlier in the year, Roy had 19 errors, and there was a lot of talk about his errors, how many he had. I checked back, that was through 85 games. At the same stage, through 82 games, Freddie Patek of the Royals, who is considered to be one of the better shortstops in the American League, had 22 errors. He had 3 more than Roy. And there was a lot of talk about Roy's errors.
Here's Roy at the plate. Bunts it down the first base side. Honeycutt has to go to first base. The second baseman covering, so the sacrifice works. Smalley moves Morales down to second base.
Good bunt. Honeycutt, you'll see, make a quick check of the runner Morales going over to second base, and then go to first after the check, and he almost threw the ball away. Long stretch.
Not only is Roy a good hitter, but he's an excellent bunter. He's sacrificed 16 times this year. That's tops on the Twins ball club.
He led the club in that particular stat a year ago.
Here's Willie Norwood, who homered his last time up. Fastball on the inside part of the plate, strike one. Morales at second with one down. We're all tied up 1-1. Pitch looked like it was outside, but it fooled Willie. Oh, it's 0-2. The on-deck hitter is Larry Wolf. There you see the runner at second base, Morales. Honeycutt on the mound. The catcher is Plummer, and Richie Garcia is behind the plate. Oh, 2 pitch to Norwood. High and tight, 1-2. Honeycutt last year was with Shreveport in the Texas League, and then was called up to Seattle. He was 0-1. Willie fouls this one off, but the catcher Plummer hangs on to it. So at strikeout number 4 for Rick Honeycutt, and with 2 down, it'll bring up the third baseman Larry Wolf. Larry struck out his first time up. After 5 innings of play, it's Milwaukee nothing, New York nothing. After 3, Kansas City leaves Chicago 4-2. Fastball low and inside, ball 1 to Wolf. One hopper to Reynolds at shortstop, and they get Wolf at first. So for the Twins here in the 4th inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors by the Mariners, and 1 left. 4 complete now. It's the Twins 1 and the Seattle Mariners 1. Ball games, this is the way the standings look in the American League. In the East, Boston 7 games over the second place Milwaukee Brewers, followed by the Yankees 8.5 out. Detroit 9, Baltimore 9.5, Cleveland 17.5, and Toronto in the basement 28.5 games behind. In the West, the Kansas City Royals lead the division by 2 games over California, 3 over Oakland, and there you see the rest of the standings. Twins 14.5 games, tied with Chicago in 5th place. Top of the 5th inning, let's bring in Joe Boyle.
All right, Harmon, thank you very much. Bill Plummer leads it off for the Mariners here in the top half of inning number 5. He'll be followed by Julio Cruz and Craig Reynolds. The outfield straight away for Plummer. Breaking ball upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes on the Mariner catcher Plummer. Signed after he was released by Cincinnati. Spent last year with Cincinnati. Played in 51 games for him. Had just 1 homer and hit under 200. 2-0 pitch. On the outside corner, that's a strike. Wolf at third, Smalley at short, Randall back on the outfield grass at second, and Carew at first around the infield defensively for the Twins. Right down the alley. Count evens 2-2. Fouled away. Count will hold at 2-2. Now Jim Bouton trying to make it back to the biggies on a fork ball and a knuckle ball. Didn't fare so well tonight. Threw a 4-hitter, but he was the loser. Short end of a 2-0 score. There's a high fly ball, fairly shallow left field, right on the line. Willie Norwood finally gets over there and makes the catch. So there's one gone. It'll bring Julio Cruz to the plate. Cruz is 0 for 2. They don't give Bouton's record, Harmon, but he threw a 4-hitter, didn't pitch badly. Ended up losing 2-0 to Jacksonville tonight. He's in Double-A ball. The bunt by Cruz. He has excellent speed. Carew comes up with it. Did he get him? No, says first base umpire Jim Evans. Rod made a dive for him, and that was about all he could do. He had no time to try to flip the ball to anybody. Cruz with that excellent speed of his, racing down the line, and he made Carew handle the bunt.
Well, here's another look at it, and as Joe said, this fella can fly. It was an excellent bunt, and it got by the pitcher's serum. Carew over and made the play. Now Rod trying to just make a stab at him and touch him before he got to the base. Did he get him? Umpire at first base, Jimmy Evans, says no. No argument on it.
From
so
our
I guess he
vantage
missed
point,
him.
we really couldn't see. Gary Serum had it blocked out. 7th hit of the game now for the Mariners. We're tied on the board at a run apiece, and Craig Reynolds is the batter. Takes the first pitch high and away for a ball. Reynolds 1 for 2 in the game. He tripled in the 3rd inning, and then came halfway down the line and was nailed trying to get back into 3rd. So he's 1 for 2. High and outside. 2 balls, no strikes through the first 2 1/3 innings in the game. Gary Serum was out in front of most of the batters. Now in the 4th and here in the 5th, he's fallen behind some of the hitters. Breaking ball in there, runner going, throw to second is not in time. And Julio Cruz has just pilfered his 37th bag of the year in 44 attempts. He's 3rd in the American League in that department.
There was a little help by the batter, Craig Reynolds, who put his bat out in front of the plate to kind of shield the attempt by Cruz, and he was in there easily. And as Joe said, stolen base number 37.
2 balls and a strike on Reynolds. Ground ball down the first base line. Carew has it. Will take it himself, and on the play, Cruz moves over to 3rd easily. So with 2 gone, that'll leave it up to Rupert Jones. Jones a double in 2 at-bats tonight. He got that immediately following the triple by Reynolds in the 3rd, but the Mariners came away empty. And I'll reiterate that Reynolds was caught after he overran. Jones doubled. Outfield straight away for this left-handed sticker. He fouls it off to the first base side. 0-1. Serum delivers outside at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gary with that sinking fastball and a slider. And he'll change speeds on you. Just like that.
Your sports station, WTCN TV.
Outfield straight away for this left-handed sticker. He fouls it off to the first base side. 0-1. Serum delivers outside at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gary with that sinking fastball and a slider. And he'll change speeds on you. Just like that. Bob Randall to Rod Carew, and the Twins are out of this one. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left after 4 1/2. Twins 1, Seattle 1. For the Twins here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, it'll be Glenn Borgman, Bob Randall, and Bombo Rivera, the scheduled batters. Borgie's 0 for 1. He was out on strikes in the 2nd inning with the first baseman getting to put out on the play when the 3rd strike eluded catcher Bill Plummer. Checks his swing and it costs him. 0-2 to count on Borgman. Rick Honeycutt has fanned 4 and walked no one through the first 4 innings. Has given up 4 hits. 1 in each inning. So he has scattered them so far. A ball and 2 strikes. Now that big game tonight in New York. The Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Yankees are still scoreless. They're in the 5th. Down low, 2-2. That game in that series with the Boston-Cleveland score the way it is, with Boston out in front 8-4. Almost a must-win for both those clubs, Milwaukee and New York, and you know they both can't win it. If the Brewers lose, they'll fall 8 back. If the Yankees lose, they'll be 9.5 back if Boston continues to lead and win that game. That'll be fouled to the 3rd base side. 3rd baseman Larry Milbourne over there. Kind of an odd stat on that young man. Has 2 home runs all year. Got them both in the same game. One is a left-hand batter, one is a right-hand batter, and one was a grand slam. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out again. 2nd time that Glenn Borgman has gone down swinging tonight. So 1 away in the 5th, and it'll bring up Bob Randall. See, we were asked if we'd pass along a big hello to a big spender from Vegas who's here, Gary McConaughey, a big Twins fan from Vegas on vacation watching the game at his cousin's house. Wonder what odds he's given. First pitch to Bobby Randall is low and outside, ball 1.
A couple other of our good buddies are watching the game tonight. We know Joe, Dr. McKenzie,
right,
is watching in. Hello, Len. Say hello to you.
Fastball to Randall, misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
And another one of our very good friends, Tommy Bordukalis. Tommy, we hope you're enjoying the game.
Bobby swings on the next pitch and hits it just foul down the 3rd base line. For the Mariners, Milbourne at 3rd, Reynolds at short, Carew at 2nd, and Meyer at 1st, with Plummer back at the plate and Rick Honeycutt, 24-year-old southpaw, out on the mound. Ground ball to short. Reynolds is there on the big hop. Long throw, and he gets him. 2 gone here in the 5th. Bombo Rivera.
The right fielder.
0 for 2. Grounded out. First baseman to the pitcher covering. And 1 of 4 strikeouts that Honeycutt has recorded in the 3rd. We're all tied up at a run apiece here in the bottom half of the 5th with 2 on, nobody out. 1-1. Inside. Texas and Detroit are still tied at a run apiece. They're in the 5th. Big swing from Rivera, and he didn't get it. 1-1. Cincinnati has changed pitchers in the top half of the 6th inning. They already trail Atlanta 3-0, and they have changed pitchers in the 6th.
Interesting thing about that ball game is Phil Niekro had pitched a no-hitter through 6 innings against Cincinnati.
Change up, and Bombo laces it into right center field. That'll drop. Around first goes Rivera. He holds on as Jones comes up with the ball and whips it back into the infield. So the Twins have their 5th hit of the game. 1 per inning so far Honeycutt has allowed.
Well, you get another look at the base hit by Rivera. Like a fastball that ran away from Rivera a little bit. He just knocked it into right field.
The thing that has kept Honeycutt out of any type of trouble other than Norwood's home run so far has been the fact that he hasn't walked anybody, and of the 5 hits the Twins have in the 5 innings, he has allowed no more than 1 in any inning. Rod Carew has one of those 5 hits. He got it in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 in the game. Was out trying to bunt for a base hit in the 1st. Way in the grass at 3rd is Milbourne, and Rodney looks the pitch over. It's up high, ball 1. Milbourne about 4 or 5 steps in on the grass at 3rd. Almost every 3rd baseman in the league now is playing Rod in to try to take away that bunt. Outfield just about straight away for him. They do not play him as far over to left center as do most clubs. Rupert Jones is only about 3 steps over on the 3rd base side of 2nd in center field. Goes the runner, Rivera. Throw to 2nd is not in time, and Craig Reynolds is upset. Looked like it was there in plenty of time. Reynolds may have missed the tag. Stolen base for Rivera, his 4th of the year.
Well, that's going to bring a visit from the manager of the Mariners, Gerald Johnson. You get another look here. Catcher Plummer came up with a good throw to 2nd base. A 1-hopper, but easily handled by the shortstop Reynolds. And right on top of the play was Durwood Merrill. But he says Rivera's safe.
We kind of lost the ball in the glove in a cloud of dust. It looked, Harmon, like Reynolds may have been juggling the ball a little bit just before it disappeared into that cloud. You could see an awful lot of white.
Well, Darrell Johnson will come out 2nd best in that one. That's stolen base number 4 for Rivera. There are the umpires.
A ball and a strike now on Carew with Rivera in scoring position. He is the 3rd Twins runner of the evening to get as far as 2nd base. Carew fouls the pitch back of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes on Rod. Danny Ford is waiting on deck. 1-1, the Twins and the Mariners here in the bottom of the 5th. Twins trying to take the lead for the first time in the game, with Rivera in scoring position. With 2 gone, the infield playing back, and now Milbourne has moved back about 10 feet behind the bag at 3rd, with 2 strikes on Carew. Breaking ball misses outside.
Trying to figure out something, Joe.
What's that?
Whether I like the home red shoes or the visiting blue shoes that the Twins wear. I'm going to ask equipment manager Ray Crump which he likes best.
The 2-2 pitch. Up the middle. It is on into center field. Rivera around 3rd. He'll score. Carew stops at 1st with an RBI single, and the Twins take the lead 2-1.
Well, no report what Al Oliver has done tonight for the Texas Rangers, but we know that Rod Carew has 2 hits, 2 and 3 times up to the plate. Rod just slaps this one over the head of Rick Honeycutt into center field, and it scores Rivera from 2nd. Twins take the lead 2-1, and with 2 out, Carew at 1st, it'll bring up Dan Ford.
Well, for the first time tonight, the Twins have put together 2 hits in an inning, and they have produced a run and lead 2-1 in the game with 2 down. Rodney Carew at 1st base and Dan Ford the batter. Danny 1 for 2 in the game. Here goes Carew. Pitch is swung on, laced into right center field. Jones over, makes the catch on the run. Rupert Jones with the running catch to take a hit away from Danny Ford, but the Twins come up with a run on 2 hits, no errors. They leave a runner stranded, and after 5, it's the Minnesota Twins 2 and the Seattle Mariners 1.
That's right, there you are. Thank you, guys. You gotta snuck that one in on me, Joe. Well, after that, here's some National League scores. A couple finals. Pittsburgh over Chicago, 9-5. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, it was 9 runs on 14 hits, no errors. Chicago 5-11-1. The winner in that ball game
Robinson.
was Robinson. Can't read Joe's writing. 7 and 5.
You're not alone.
Okay. Parker hit a home run, his 17th of the year. Milner, 14 for Chicago, and Johnson, who was just acquired by the Cubs, hit his 3rd of the year. Top of the 6th inning, Twins 2, the Mariners 1.
Leon Roberts, Bruce Bhakti, and Danny Meyer, the scheduled batters for Seattle here in the top of the 6th. To face right-hander Gary Serum. Breaking ball misses. Ball 2.
When God
Twins
made
with-
heads, Joe, he made some round, he made some square. And those he wasn't particularly proud of, he covered with hair.
Oh, you're with it. I'll get you. Who turned you on tonight anyway? 2 balls and a strike.
That sign out
the
there.
count on Leon Roberts. By the way, I have a question for you, Harmon.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch, fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Roberts now. Did you see that Willie Stargell broke the strikeout record the other night?
I did. And
Broke
I was-
Mantl's record. Did you send him a congratulatory telegram?
I should have. I think Mickey probably did, though. I'm going to check Lou Brock. I know he's coming along real good.
Is he up there too?
Oh, he's right in there.
You were what? You were second?
I was second to Mantle on.
Well, now you're third.
Stargell was right behind me, and boy, he came on very strong.
Leon Roberts has picked up the first walk given up by Gary Serum tonight.
The designated hitter, Bruce Bhakti.
It's only the second time Gary has gone to the 3-2 count on a batter. So Roberts is on to lead off the 6th, represents the tying run. And Bruce Bhakti, who has a base hit in 2 trips tonight, is the batter. The outfield bunches Bhakti a little bit up the middle. Both Norwood in left and Rivera in right are bunched over towards left center and right center respectively, with Danny Ford straight away in center field. Larry Wolf right into the edge of the grass, but about 15 feet off the line at third. Changeup comes in there, but it's too high. 2 balls, no strikes.
Joe, he asked about Bruce Bhakti. You know, he's an excellent outfielder, but they've been using him as a DH for most of the season. He's played more ball games than any other Mariner, but the reason they're using him as a DH is because of his knees. He's got some knee problems.
Serum's throw to first, and Roberts back in plenty of time. Roberts, as we say, deceptively fast for a big man, but in stolen bases, he's just 50%, 3 out of 6. Here he goes. High fly ball, fairly deep to right field. It is hooking, and it will curve foul into the seats.
Boy, he got a hold of that one.
Got underneath it a little bit, and he lifted it up into the seats. 2 balls and a strike now on Bhakti. Souvenir hunt. Looks like the park on Easter Sunday. Looking for Easter eggs. Bhakti's also a pretty fair first baseman. Another throw over to first by Serum, trying to keep Roberts close.
We understand the artificial turf up at the Kingdome is bothering his knees.
Serum again to first base. Three and one. Pitch broke away from the left-hander. Infield at double play depth. Just missed. And Gary Serum, who had not walked a batter through the first 5, is now given up 2 in a row here. Bhakti moves down to first. Roberts over to second. And Danny Meyer will be the batter. Meyer's 0 for 2. He's popped to short at a fly ball to left field. Necro has lost his no-hitter in Cincinnati. The Reds came up with 2 runs. And it's 3-2 now in the 7th. Line drive again. This one hooking. It is a foul ball down the right field line. As Meyer got out in front of that one.
Just put that in your pocket, Bombo. Oh.
Use it later if you can't find a real one, right? Larry Wolf 2-3 steps in the grass at third for Meyer, a left-hand batter. Twins with a play on. Randall sneaks in behind Roberts, but he was ready for it. He wasn't too far off the bag, and he got back in fairly easily. Smalley broke as if he was going to cover third, and the hope there being that Roberts would see him and go a little further off the bag, and then Bob Randall broke in behind him from his position at second. Meyer squared away to bunt, let it go by, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. And we're about to get some activity in the Twins bullpen. Jeff Holley gets up and begins to loosen in the bullpen. Serum ready. Breaking ball, the bunt. Gary off the mound. He'll have to go to first to Bob Randall. The sacrifice works. And the Mariners get runners over to second and third. Roberts goes to third. Bhakti is on at second. There's one gone. And John Hale will be the batter.
Well, and usually you see high fastballs in a bunt situation. Now, this was a curveball. It was kind of an easy ball for the batter Meyer to bunt. So the sacrifice works, moves the runners to second and third. And with one down, it'll bring up the left fielder, John Hale.
Wolf in on the edge of the grass at third. Carew about halfway in at first. Smalley pulled over towards the bag at second for Hale, a left-handed batter. Hale has a rip at the first pitch, doesn't get it. The outfield just about straight away for Hale. Ford maybe pulled a step or two over towards right center. So Gary Serum in a jam with runners at second and third and only one out here in the top half of the 6th inning. Twins lead at 2-1. Upstairs and wide. A ball and a strike on Hale. He'll be followed by Larry Milbourne. Again, Gary misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Mariners have out-hit the Twins 7-6. But the Twins lead them by 1 in the runs department. On the inside corner, 2-2. Runners have their leads. 2-2 pitch. High pop foul. That'll be back out of play. Count remains 2-2. Pittsburgh beat Chicago this afternoon 9-5. St. Louis took the first of 2 from Philadelphia 2-0, and they lead in the nightcap 1-0. Serum's pitch inside and low. Full count now on John Hale. Well, Gary Serum had not gone 3-2 on a batter since the 3rd inning, and he had only done it once in the game, and now he has done it twice here in the 6th inning. He has a 3-2 count on Hale. Changed up on him, and he fouls it off to the right. So Gary Serum in a jam, trying to work his way out of it here in the 6th. Seattle has beaten the Twins 6 straight times. Bounding ball, Rod Carew snares it, flips to Serum, makes the tag. Roberts comes in to score, and we're tied at 2 apiece. And on the play, the runner Bhakti moves over to third base. Fine play by Rod Carew, and he may have prevented another run from scoring with that one.
Well, it was an RBI for John Hale on this play, and Carew did make an excellent play of it, jumping into the air, snaring it, the little flip to the pitcher Serum covering at first base to force Hale. But on the play, the runner from third base, Roberts, scored. So we've got a tie ball game, a runner at third and 2 out.
Hale has driven in both of the Mariner runs tonight, and Serum's still not out of a jam. 2 down now, but Bhakti at third and Milbourne the batter. He's 1 for 2, a single back in the 2nd inning. Way outside. Gary Serum displaying some wildness here in the 6th. His control had been almost letter perfect up till this inning. Again, he's upstairs with the pitch. Gary may be getting tired.
Don't let it get away from you now. Keep it under control.
2-0 pitch. Fastball pounded on the ground to Bob Randall at second. Goes to Carew, and the Twins get out of it. But the Mariners come up with a run without the benefit of a hit, and they leave a runner stranded after 5.5. It's Seattle
At Kansas City. They played 4.5 now. It's still the Kansas City Royals, the Chicago White Sox 2. Crowley started the game for the White Sox, and Schuler is now in there in the 5th. Splittorff for the Kansas City Royals. After 4, it's after 6 now in Boston. It's the Red Sox 9, Cleveland 7, Texas 5, Detroit 2 after 6, and New York 2, Milwaukee nothing after 7.
Here we're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Jose Morales will be followed by Roy Smalley and Willie Norwood as the Twins are even with the Mariners again, 2 apiece. Both teams have led once in the game. There's a high pop-up on the first base side, drifting foul off into the seats, and it'll be out of play. Well, error in the stands, but the umpire Jim Evans will get a hand for that one. Morales is 1 for 2 in the game. He got a single in the 4th inning, got as far as second base, and was left stranded there. He hit what may have been the hardest hit ball of the night in the 1st inning when he drove Rupert Jones to the center field wall before he took the drive off his bat. Some 408 feet from home plate. Falls behind Honeycutt. 0-2. They play Morales to hit the ball to right center field. Jones shaded over into right center, the hole in left center, and down the left field line, and he hits it in the shortstop hole to the left side. Jose around first with his 2nd hit of the night, and he's on to lead off the 6th inning.
The shortstop line, Smalley.
Well, there was no way Reynolds was going to get to that ball playing where he was playing, Armand. He was pulled over to the bag at second in the shortstop spot.
2 very well hit balls by the designated hitter, Jose Morales.
Now Roy Smalley, 0 for 1 in the game. He grounded out in the 2nd and sacrificed in the 4th after Morales singled in that inning. Roy has hit safely in 12 out of the last 13 games. That'll be a wild pitch. Gets all the way back to the backstop, and Morales is down to second. So Smalley, who was up there to sacrifice, let it go, and Morales moves to second base anyway. Carl Keel in the third base box giving signs to Roy Smalley. So the Twins with the go-ahead run now at second in scoring position. In the person of Jose Morales, there he is. Parrott is in the bullpen. Two balls, no strikes, and Roy Smalley. There's Mike Parrott. He relieved for Seattle last Thursday night and did a fine job for the Mariners. Seattle dugout. Weststock. There's the look from center field. The outfield for Roy just about straight away. He bunts it foul down the first base side. That time Roy may have been bunting for the base hit, but that would be only a guess. He may have been under orders to try to move the runner over to third. Willie Norwood swinging a bat in the on-deck circle. Kansas City leading Chicago 8-2. So if the Twins can win this one, they would regain sole possession of 5th place. That's after 5, Kansas City, Chicago. And the Yankees have scored, and they now lead Milwaukee 2-0 into 7th. The 2-1 pitch to Smalley. Inside, ball 3. 3-1 on Roy Smalley. Nobody out. Morales is at second. We're tied at 2 apiece. Again, that look from center field. You can see where the pitch goes. Inside, ball 4, and Roy Smalley gets the first walk given up by Rick Honeycutt. And that is going to call for a visit to the mound. Last Thursday, the Twins got to Honeycutt early, and Darrell Johnson did not seem hesitant at all to yank him in favor of Parrott. There you see the gathering. Now Honeycutt still has the ball. And Johnson's going to leave him in. So the Twins now with runners at first and second. Smalley on at first with the walk. Morales, who singled and went to second on a wild pitch. And Willie Norwood, who is 1 for 2 in the game. He homered in the second, his 7th of the year. And then struck out in the 4th. First pitch to Norwood. He shortened up as if to bunt. Let it go by, and it was inside for a ball. The outfield for Norwood is straight away. The infield at double play depth with Milbourne in on the grass at third. And Meyer not holding with Smalley at first. Way in on the grass looking for the bunt. There's the bunt, foul back. A ball and a strike.
Boy, Meyer is right on top of Willie Norwood.
The shortstop Reynolds is only playing about 4 or 5 steps off the bag at second. There's a huge gaping hole on the left side of the infield. Just in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, you can see the shortstop Meyer. Now look at that, all that space over there. See whether Norwood is still up there to bunt. Yes. Lets it go, and it's low inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Meyer's right on top of the ball, but the ideal place to bunt the ball, of course, is to the third baseman, Milbourne.
Right. This has been one of the big problems for the Twins this year, is execution in plays just like this. To get those runners up there. The bunt, good one. And they're going to let it roll. Now Honeycutt picks it up. He threw it by wide. And Carew, the second baseman, was pulled off the bag at first. Carew, the second sacker, was over covering the bag at first. And the first base umpire, Jim Evans, says the throw pulled him off the bag. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. Nobody went after it at first, Harmon.
Well, it's an error on the pitcher, and you'll get another look at it. The ball was bunted right between Honeycutt and the first baseman, Danny Meyer. Neither one of them wanted to go after it. Now Honeycutt finally got the ball, and the throw, as Joe said, pulled the second baseman, Carew, off the bag. There it is, right there.
That'll be a sacrifice and an error. So the Twins have the bases loaded, nobody out, and Larry Wolf is the batter. Morales is at third, Smalley at second, Norwood at first. Wolf 0 for 2 in the game, has struck out and grounded out. And now, just as Gary Serum was a jam in the top half of the 6th inning, young Rick Honeycutt is in a peck of trouble here in the bottom of the 6th.
Honeycutt looked into the Mariner dugout to see whether he should take his windup or take a stretch. He's going to take a full windup.
Looping ball into left center field, going to drop. That'll score 1. Smalley will be held up at third. Throw comes in, the sacks are still loaded, and the Twins lead it 3-2 as Larry Wolf comes through with an RBI single. Morales scores, Smalley to third, Norwood to second, and Wolf is on at first, and that is going to be all for Honeycutt.
Well, there's another look at it. Not a real hard-hit ball, just kind of a looping line drive that fell in front of the center fielder, Rupert Jones. And on the play, Morales scored, and Smalley was held up at third base. So we still have the bases loaded and nobody out, and we're going to see a relief pitcher. Honeycutt will depart the game here in the 6th inning. Wes Stock, the pitching coach of the Mariners, along with Plummer, the catcher. Number 20 is Mike Parrott coming in to relieve Honeycutt. Parrott coming into a tough situation here with nobody out and the bases still loaded. And he's pitched in relief. This is his 14th appearance. He's started 9 ball games. Parrott was acquired from Baltimore on December 7th for outfielder Carlos Lopez and pitcher Tommy Moore.
Glenn Borgman. And for Glenn, this is his 1,999th Major League at bat. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Bobby Randall on deck. Right-hander now on. First pitch to Borgman is in there for a strike. Parrott was the Baltimore Orioles' #1 draft choice in 1973 and was the most valuable pitcher in the International League last year for Rochester. Strike 2. So Borgie quickly falls in the hole, 0-2. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Mariner infield in tight all the way around. Smalley at third, Norwood at second, Wolf at first. Outfield straight away for Borgman. On deck is Bob Randall. Breaking ball misses low and outside. A ball and 2 strikes to Glenn Borgman. Borgie with a chance here to hit double figures in the RBI department for the first time this year. He has 9, could add to it here with a fly ball or a base hit. 1-2 pitch. Did he go? No, he did not. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Parrott, 23 years old, 6'4", 205 pounds. He's ready. Outside again, and Borgman, who had fallen behind, no balls, 2 strikes, has now worked the string all the way out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Another pitch out of the strike zone would force in a run. 3-2 delivery. Down low, ball 4. 10th RBI of the year for Borgman. And the margin goes to 4-2 as Parrott walks in a run. That run charged to Honeycutt. Second walk to a Twins batsman tonight. The first by Parrott. Smalley scores. Norwood to third. Wolf to second, and Borgman on at first. Mike Cubbage will come out of the Twins dugout now to bat for Bob Randall. So Bobby leaves the game 0 for 2. Cubby will probably stay in the game and play second base. He has played at second before this year. Mike's average at .302. He has 5 homers and 53 RBIs. Well, a base hit by Jose Morales to start the inning. First walk for the Twins by Roy Smalley. Put runners at first and second. An error on Willie Norwood's sacrifice. Loaded him up. Larry Wolf then singled for a run. And Glenn Borgman, after falling behind 0-2 to relief pitcher Mike Parrott, then drew 4 straight balls. That drove in the second run of the inning, the 4th of the game for the Twins, and it is now 4-2. The bases still loaded and nobody out. Mike Cubbage, I will remind you, has hit 2 Grand Slam home runs as a Twin and has 3 in his career. First pitch to him is inside, ball 1. I talked to Mike before the game and asked him if he was completely over that viral infection he had, and he said, yeah, he feels much better. Raleigh now throwing in the Seattle bullpen. Parrott is ready. Cubbage had a home run rip at that one, but didn't get it. 1-1. I don't think he was going for a base hit, Harmon.
I think you're right, Joe.
He had that long ball cut on that one.
In the days when he used to have button-down shirts, he'll say
he popped the 2 pop buttons on that one. Bombo Rivera is on deck, but is doubtful that he will bat with the right-hander on. Drive to right field, deep. Going, it is gone. A grand slam home run for Mike Cubbage. The 3rd of Cubbage's Minnesota Twins career. And RBIs number 54, 55, 56, and 57. And the Twins jump out in front, 8-2. Can we call him or can we call him?
Well, this one wasn't a cheap shot either. A good look at the home run swing of Mike Cubbage. Right fielder Roberts giving chase, but no way. A home run, a grand slam for Mike Cubbage. There it is, 367 feet or 111 meters. Home run number 6, Twins 8, Mariners 2.
4 big ribbies for Mike Cubbage, and that changes the complexion of things, and Bombo Rivera will bat against the right-hander. They are Raleigh throwing in the bullpen as a southpaw, so Jerry Zimmerman has decided he does not want to make a change at this time. Leon Roberts dropped the ball. Routine catch, and he dropped the ball.
Well, the grand slam by Cubbage shook everybody up.
Well, if anything could happen to the Mariners in an inning, it has happened this inning.
Now Rivera going to first base. Now watch Roberts here. It looked like he had the ball easy and maybe took his eye off the ball just a little bit. And so it goes as an error on the right fielder Roberts. Rivera at first base and still nobody out. Carew at the plate.
That's the 5th error of the year on Roberts. Well, Rod Carew 2 for 3 in the game tonight. His first look at the right-hander. Here goes Rivera, and the pitch is fouled by Carew to the backstop. 0-1. Rodney, the 8th man of the inning to bat, and there's still nobody out. 2 errors by Seattle in the inning. And a grand slam home run by Mike Cubbage. Oh, 1 pitch to Carew. The bunt. Here comes Milbourne. He's never going to get it. Rodney is 3 for 4 tonight. He caught him playing deep for the first time in the game, Harmon, and he really took advantage of it.
Well, Rod must have been reading the paper today when he saw that he was down in the batting average department. Oh, he thought he'd just go out and get a few hits tonight. A nice butt. No chance on this one. Third baseman Milburn says, no way, I'm not even going to try. Hit number 3 for Carew. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Twins with 6 runs in this inning. It'll bring up the center fielder, Danny Ford.
Danny, the 9th man of the inning to bat. Still nobody out. Rivera at second. Carew at first. Sliced foul into the seats. Harmon, it had to happen. The way the Twins have been going, they've been long overdue for an inning like this. They have been just frustrated for the last 2 weeks. And they finally have broken out of it here tonight.
What do you think, Gene? Zimmy can really manage, huh?
Yeah, keep that foot up, Gene. Stay right there. He may want to get back in a hurry now.
Look at him. On the dugout.
Ford goes after a pitch that may have been a little bit outside. Let's see. Zimmy's 3-3 as a manager going into this game tonight. Eight to 2. The Twins lead it with 6 big runs here in the 6th, and there's still nobody out. 0-2 on Danny Ford. Danny's 1 for 3 in the game. Down to first baseline. Meyer comes up with it. Throw to second in time. There'll be no throw to first.
Wow.
Carew cut down. Going to second base. Boy, that ball hit like a rocket off the end of Danny Ford's bat.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, too, Joe. Rod Carew really got down to second base fast because, as you said, this ball was hit like a shot down the first baseman, Danny Meyer. He turned around quickly through to second. Now watch Carew. He's right on top of the bag.
Well, Rivera moves over to third on the play. Ford is on at first. There is one gone now, and Jose Morales up there for the second time in the inning. He led it off, started the whole thing with a base hit and scored. Rick Honeycutt went the first 5 innings, has been charged with 6 runs. He gave up 8 hits, walked 1, struck out 5, and was charged with a wild pitch. Morales slices that one off to the first base seats. Again, the outfield is playing Jose around to the right with the big hole in left center field. Last time up, he just punched it in between the shortstop and third baseman. Ford bluffed going, and the pitch is upstairs and inside. A ball and a strike.
Joe, I've decided I'm going to opt for the red shoes.
You like the red ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Who else wears red shoes? Boston does.
Boston, the White Sox, Angels, I guess.
1-1 pitch. Line drive. That's into left field for a hit. Rivera will score. Ford stops at second as Hale comes up with the ball, and the margin goes to 9-2. 25th RBI of the year for Jose Morales. And another visit to the mound. And we are going to get a change right here, as Mike Parrott has been anything but a success as a relief pitcher tonight. Just the opposite of what he was the last time we saw him. So we will have the third Seattle pitcher of the inning as you look at Bombo Rivera come in to score the 7th run of the inning for the Twins. And there's still just one man down. Runners at first and second. Shane Raleigh will come on.
Well, they're going to bring in a left-hander this time, Shane Raleigh. Raleigh, 24 years old. 6 foot, 155 pounder. Raleigh on the year, 4 wins and 8 losses. And he's been used a lot by the Mariners. This is his 41st appearance of the season. He started 1 ball game, and he has 4 saves. Raleigh's pitched a total of 85 in the 3rd innings. He's given up 91 hits, 47 runs. 41 earned runs. He's walked 41 and struck out 52. He has an ERA of 4.32. Shane Raleigh on the mound in relief here in the 6th inning for the Seattle Mariners. And the Twins with just 1 out and runners at 1st and 2nd.
Number 41, Shane Raleigh.
Harmon, talking about pitchers, I talked to Dave Goltz before the game tonight. Dave said his back was a little bit better again today. He said the problem is it's in the lower part of his back. And Rod Carew and I were kidding him. Rod said, touch your toes. He said he has no trouble with that. He said he can get down there. It's getting back up that he has the problem.
Well, looks like he's going to miss his next turn. And
Well, hopefully he'll get back into the rotation very quickly. Dave has had one of those years, in and out, off and on. Well, here's Roy Smalley. Roy drew a walk here in the 6th inning. He's 0 for 1 officially. Grounded out, sacrificed, walked. He scored a run. Ford at second. Morales at first, and a call strike to Danny Ford from the southpaw Shane Raleigh.
I think the red shoes look better with the red batting gloves, don't you?
If you say so, Armin. Yes, it's because you got a red shirt on tonight. Smalley goes after the next pitch and doesn't get it. 0-2. Took something off that delivery, and Roy went fishing a little bit. He's disgusted with himself down there.
Don't they look pretty, though, really?
You hear that?
Yeah.
It's another set of luggage on its way to getting lost up there. Big plane flies over. 0-2, the count on Roy Smalley. 9-2, the Twins lead it. 1 away. Inside, a ball and 2 strikes. Roy was up there last time to sacrifice, but a wild pitch made that unnecessary. Struck him out, so Raleigh comes in and fans Roy Smalley. First strikeout for him and the 6th strikeout of a Twins batter tonight. And there are 2 gone. Willie Norwood will be the batter. Willie 1 for 2 in the game. He got his 7th home run of the year in the 2nd. Struck out in the 4th, sacrificed, and got on when the throw pulled Cruz off the bag at first. Ground ball to 3rd. Milbourne backs up, fires to 2nd in time to get Morales moving over. And that does it for the Twins in the 6th, but they come up with 7 big runs. And after 6 complete, it's the Minnesota Twins 9 and the Seattle Mariners 2. It off for the Mariners in the top half of the 7th inning as right-hander Gary Serum has now been staked to a big 7-run lead by his Minnesota Twin teammates. A ball and a strike. 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Twins. 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors for the Mariners. Breaking ball just misses. 2 balls and a strike. Looked like the slider from Gary.
Rob Wilfong now playing at second base.
Next pitch misses outside. Rob Wilfong is taken over at second base for the Twins, so Mike Cubbage did not stay in the game with the left-hander Raleigh on. There's Rob. And again, Gary Serum misses. Ball 4. So Gary, who in the 6th inning displayed some wildness, continues to show that tendency here in the 7th. That's the 3rd walk he's given up. And he had walked no one until the 6th.
Second baseman Julio Cruz.
He'd only gone to a 3-ball count on 1 batter until the 6th inning. Here's Julio Cruz, 1 for 3 in the game. Peels the first one back into the second deck. Cruz with excellent speed. Right back to Serum. To Smalley at second. Relay to first. In time to get the speedy Cruz. The 122nd double play of the year for the Twins. Serum had to wait for Smalley to get back to the bag at second. And then Roy really blistered the throw over to first base because Cruz can fly, and they just got him. 1-6-4 in the double play, and there are 2 gone. Craig Reynolds, the shortstop. 1 for 3, a triple in the third. American League scores: Boston 9 and Cleveland 7 in the 8th. Fastball strike to Myers. Fisk has hit his 16th home run. Evans is 21st. Reynolds moved to bunt the ball and let it go by. And Jim Rice looks like he's back on the beam, Harmon. Home runs number 26 and 27 for the Red Sox left fielder. There's a ball Smalley can't get to. Just past his backhand effort. So Reynolds is on with a single. Hit number 8 for the Mariners tonight. And that'll bring Rupert Jones to the plate. Toronto beat Baltimore, and boy, the Orioles do have trouble with the Blue Jays. 5-3. Toronto over the O's. Underwood won his 6th. Flanagan lost his 10th. Carty and Woods homered for Toronto and May for Baltimore. First pitch to Jones is low and outside, a ball. Yankees lead Milwaukee 3-0 after 8 now. The Brewers for their last rips in the 9th. Texas leading Detroit 8-2 with Detroit batting in the last of the 8th. 1-1 as Rupert Jones went after that pitch up around his shoulders. Jim Sundberg has hit his 3rd home run of the year for the Rangers in that game. White Sox trying to come back, but they're down 8-3 to Kansas City after 6. Later tonight, California is at Oakland. Bounding ball to the left side. Wolf can't get it. Smalley does. Long throw. Got him. Fine play by Roy Smalley as he throws out Rupert Jones for the Mariners in the 7th. No runs, a hit, no errors.
Here's Rupert Jones. Now this guy can fly, and the ball really wasn't hit that hard. Now watch Smalley come in as the ball get by Larry Wolf, the 3rd baseman. Roy on the run, the flip to first base, and he really got a lot on the ball, Joe.
Tell you, Roy is having a fine year, both at the plate and in the field. He makes some tough plays. Well, Larry Wolf. Wolfie put the Twins out in front with a single in the 6th to give them at that time a 3-2 lead. And they really erupted after that in that big 7-run 6th inning. And Borgman and then Rob Wilfong. Inside, ball 2. Let's give you those National League scores. Pittsburgh defeated Chicago 9-5. Robinson won it and Ruscia lost it. Parker his 17th home run for Pittsburgh. Milner and Johnson homered for Chicago. 3-0 now. They count on Larry Wolf. Shane Rawley, the 3rd Seattle pitcher of the night, on. Down low, ball 4, and on 4 straight pitches, Larry Wolf gets the first walk given up by Rawley. So the Twins get their leadoff man on here in the 7th, and Glenn Borgman. And let's see, I said it was his 1,999th at bat the last time. Well, it is this time too, because he ended up walking the last time, and that's not an official at bat. So he's still too shy of that 1,100 mark. Went far enough for it to be called a strike. St. Louis took the first of 2 from Philadelphia, 2-0. Vukovic won it and Christensen lost it. Foul back by Borgie into the seats right in front of us. 0-2 on Glenn Borgman. Glenn got behind the relief pitcher Mike Parrott, 0-2, and then worked him for a walk to drive in a run and push the Twins margin to 4-2 in the 6th inning. So he's 0 for 2 in the game. Couple of strikeouts. Pulled foul to the 3rd base side. Count holds of no balls, 2 strikes. Second game of that doubleheader. After 4.5, St. Louis leads the Phillies 5-1. So the last place Cardinals giving the first place Phillies a lot of trouble tonight. This one hit fairly deep to center field, but Jones has plenty of room and he makes the catch. Borgie got underneath it. So there's 1 gone. Larry Wolf returns to the bag at first. And Rob Wilfong will be the hitter. Robbie up for the first time tonight. .288 average. He has 1 homer and 8 RBIs on the year. First pitch to him is a breaking ball over the outside corner at the knees. Strike called. Outfield playing Wilfong to swing a little bit late. Jones a couple of steps over on the third base side of second and center. Fastball on the outside corner, and that's called a strike. 0-2. Atlanta held on to beat Cincinnati tonight 6-5 despite home runs by Griffey and Bench. 17th of the year for Bench. Fouled at the plate by Wilfong. Count holds 0-2. Necro won it. He had a no-hitter through 6. Hume was a loser. 32,730 in Cincinnati tonight. Foul back. Montreal beat the New York Mets 6-1. Schatzeder won his 5th. Houseman was the loser. Again fouled back by Wilfong as Rob hangs tough. San Diego is at LA. Gaylord Perry will be going for his 13th win tonight against Don Sutton, who's looking for victory number 12. Dodgers have won 3 in a row now after losing 6 in a row, and the Padres have dropped 3 in a row after winning 10 in a row. Just low on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the Giants can pick up a game if they can beat Houston tonight. They would move a game and a half back in front of Cincinnati. Dixon against Montefusco out on the West Coast. 1-2 pitch. Again fouled away by Wilfong. Well, some Twins clinics coming up. Hayward, Wisconsin, Friday at 5 o'clock at the high school baseball field. And then in Ashland, Wisconsin on Saturday at the Hodgkins Park at 9 a.m. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Hayward on Friday, 5 p.m. and Ashland on Saturday at 9 a.m. And Wilfong continues to hang tough, fouling off pitch after pitch as he guards the plate. Big rush after that one as it's in the alley.
Hit that asphalt down there and really bounced up in the air. Nobody could get it.
Raleigh is ready.
Oh.
Hit him. Right in the middle of the back. So Wilfong is on at first, and Larry Wolf moves over to second with 1 man down. Here's that pitch again. Breaking ball that didn't.
Well, Rob didn't try to get out of the way too much. Just stayed there and took the ball in the middle of the back.
So 2 men on, 1 man down, and Bombo Rivera the batter. Bombo 1 for 4 in the game. Has scored a couple of runs. Fastball to Rivera is a called strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Bounding ball to third. Milbourne steps on the bag. Throw to first base. Not in time. Wolf is forced at third. Wilfong goes over to second, and Rivera is on the fielder's choice. And Rod Carew comes to the plate with 2 gone. Runners at first and second. Rod is 3 for 4 tonight and has an RBI. As you
Look pretty.
and the red
I'm going to
shoes.
tell Rod that.
Sliced foul back out of play. A
Tell you
ball and a
what,
strike.
Rod likes him. He got 3 hits with him tonight.
Well, I had a talk with him before the game.
Oh.
Tried to get him straightened out. 2 balls and a strike now on Rod Carew. With 2 gone, the infield playing back with the exception of Milbourne, who's not going to get caught again, Herman. Rod bunted on him the last time, and he's about 3 steps in the grass at third. And he sliced it right over his head into left field. They're waving the runner around second. Headed for the plate. The throw is cut off. And the Twins' margin goes to 10-2 as Carew is 4 for 5 tonight and has 2 RBIs. Wilfong scores all the way from second. Rivera stops at second.
Well, Rod last night was 0 for 7 in that long 14-inning ball game. And he started off this ball game grounding out and then just picked up 4 straight hits. And there's Wilfong scoring run number 10 for the Twins. There he is, Rod Carew.
Just fouled down the third baseline by Danny Ford. Danny's 1 for 4 in the game tonight, and he has an RBI. For Danny, that's his 65th RBI of the year, and it'll push him into 5th place in the runs batted in column in the American League. Up high.
There he is, Rod Carew.
Just fouled down the third baseline by Danny Ford. Danny's 1 for 4 in the game tonight, and he has an RBI. For Danny, that's his 65th RBI of the year, and it'll push him into 5th place in the runs batted in column in the American League. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Straight away for Ford. Infield all the way back now. Larry Milbourne at third base has got to be a very confused young man about now.
Where do you play Rod Carew?
He got the Carew treatment this evening. Strike 2 on Danny Ford. The prior appearance for Rod in the 6th inning, he caught Milbourne playing deep and laid down a bunt, beat it out. So this time Milbourne comes in 3-4 steps on the grass and he just dumps it over his head into left field.
One consolation for Larry Milbourne, he's not alone. Rod's got a lot of third basemen confused in this league.
The 1-2 pitch to Ford. Up high. Ducked away from it.
Plus a few outfielders.
Tom Bergmeyer was telling about the Boston Red Sox pitchers meetings before the game, and he said when they get to Rod Carew, he said they don't even bother to waste time discussing him because they know he's going to get his hits anyway. They just pass him on by. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. So Raleigh comes back to get Danny Ford on strikes, but the Twins come up with another run.
They lead the Mariners 10-2. Mariners 2-8-2. The Twins 10 runs on 12 hits and 1 error. Leon Roberts, excuse me, Joe.
Okay, Leon Roberts leads it off for the Mariners here in the top half of the 8th inning as they're on the short end of a 10-2 count now. Roberts, 1 hit and 2 official at bats tonight. He scored a couple of runs. Single scored in the 2nd. A fly ball out to right in the 3rd, and he walked and came around to score in the 6th.
You were working your
out in front of him, 0-2.
You were working your calculator very hard there. Did you come up with anything?
Well, unless Al Oliver's had himself a heck of a night, Rod Carew's back in front in the batting race. He's raised his average 6 points tonight. That's foul down the third base side. Rodney back up to 329 now. He went into the game hitting 323. And excuse me, foul into the seats. Roberts will be followed by Bruce Bhakti and Danny Meyer. Twins 10 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. Mariners 2 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. Struck him out. 3rd strikeout of the game for Gary Serum.
The designated hitter, Bruce Bhakti.
Well, the big blow of this one, a grand slam home run by Mike Cubbage. First pitch to Bhakti goes outside. 1 ball. No strikes. Bhakti 1 for 2. Single. Fly ball out to left. And he walked. Shortened up to bunt. Let it go by. And it's 2-0. Cubbage hit his first grand slam home run as a Twin on July 7th, 1976 against Milwaukee. We televised that one. Up high, ball 3. He hit his second grand slam home run as a Twin on August 5th, 1977 against Cleveland. And we televised that one. And he hit his third here tonight. 3-1 now on Bhakti. And we televised that one, right. Three and 2 as Serum, who fell behind Bhakti, 3-0, comes back to run the string out now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball to first. Rod Carew digs it out, says he'll take it, and does. 2 gone. Harmon net home run tonight by Mike Cubbage would be his 4th grand slam home run in the major leagues. He hit one as a Texas Ranger also. So he has 4 overall and 3 as a Twin.
Joe,
we did not televise the one as a Texas Ranger.
You never cease to amaze me, Joe.
Drilled into right center field by the next man, Danny Meyer, and that'll go as a base hit. As Danny Ford comes up with it, Meyer pulls up and heads back to the bag at first. So with 2 down here in the 8th, the Mariners get a runner aboard. And we'll send John Hale to the plate. Hale has both of the Mariner RBIs tonight. Sacrifice fly in the 2nd. And he drove in the 2nd run with an infield out in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 4, got a base hit in the 4th inning, and a tough play by Bob Randall. Randall made an excellent stop on his hard ground ball and then threw the ball away at first, allowing him to go to 2nd. Drilled to right field. Bombo Rivera got a little bit of a late start. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Bombo Rivera coming on to make the catch for the Mariners in the 8th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and they leave a runner after 7.5. It's the Twins 10 and Seattle 2.
Steve and Rochester watching the game tonight.
First pitch to Jose Morales, leading off the 8th for the Twins. Way over the outstretched glove of Bill Plummer, the Mariner catcher. Morales, 3 for 4 in the game, tags this one deep to left center field. Jones on the run on a warning track. Makes the catch for the 2nd time tonight. Rupert Jones has made a fine running catch on a drive off the bat of Jose Morales. Boy, he has stung the ball hard tonight, Harmon.
Oh, he has. Those base hits he got were not cheap hits, and that ball, as you say, Joe, is hit very hard. The farthest part of the ballpark.
Well, the one he hit in the 1st inning was flat up against the center field wall when Jones took it. Now here's Roy Smalley. Roy has hit safely in 12 out of the last 13 games, but he's looking for his first hit tonight. Another, what would be if there was a runner on base, wild pitch by Raleigh. Into the dirt. Roy grounded out in the 1st, sacrificed in the 4th, walked and scored a run in the 6th, and struck out in the 7th. 2 balls, no strikes, the count on him here. Roy has made a couple of sparkling plays defensively in the infield tonight. Little pop-up. First base side, Dan Meyer there, makes the catch. So Smalley is retired. 2 gone in the 8th, and Willie Norwood will be the batter. Willie with 1 hit tonight. That his 7th home run in the 2nd inning with nobody on. Second pitch misses. 2 balls, no strikes. Outfield shaded to left for Norwood. Well, the Yankees beat Milwaukee tonight 3-0. Up the middle. On into center field, and Norwood has his second hit of the evening. Mike Marshall has begun to throw in the Twins bullpen, just in case Gary Serum should need ninth inning help. There he is. Well, you think how many saves Mike has for the Twins, and that total that Suter has. It's got to be amazing for the Cubs. 22. Two gone. Norwood at first, and the pitch fouled into the seats by Larry Wolf. Larry singled and drove in a run in the 6th. He's 1 for 3 tonight. 13 hits for the Twins now to go with their 10 runs. There's a souvenir. Larry Wolf falls behind Shane Rawley. No balls, 2 strikes. Don't forget, the Mariners and Twins will be right back at each other tomorrow night here at the Met. Beautiful weather in the Twin Cities. Come on out and see yourself a ball game. Ground ball to short. Relay to second for the force on Norwood moving over, and the Twins are retired in the 8th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and they leave a runner. After 8 complete, the Twins 10, Seattle 2. For state. For the Mariners, here in the top half of the 9th inning, Larry Milbourne will lead it off. He'll be followed by Bill Plummer and Julio Cruz. First pitch to Milbourne. He laces into left center field on the Twins' new pitcher, Mike Marshall. Norwood can't come up with it. Ford does. And Milbourne is in at second with a stand-up double to lead off the 9th. So Mike Marshall, who comes on in relief of Gary Serum, is greeted by a line shot into left center field, and the Mariners have a runner on with nobody out to start out the 9th inning. Gary Serum went the first 8, gave up 2 runs on 9 hits. He walked 3, struck out 3. And right now Gary stands to be the winner of his 5th game. So on another occasion this year, Gary Serum, taking the regular rotation of Dave Goltz, has come through with a fine effort when the Twins needed it most. 5-11 Marshall's record on the year. 2.97 ERA. Here's Bill Plummer, the catcher. He's 0 for 2. Fastball in there but down low. Want to thank our crew tonight. Our cameras have been handled by Cliff Benson, Tom Miller, A. Michael Young, and Steve Reedy. That one has the outside corner. The count evens on Plummer, a ball and a strike. Steve Reeby, I guess. Is it Reeby? You wrote it. Our audio has been handled by Charlie Price. Ground ball to third. Wolf has it, checks the runner, and throws Plummer out.
Midwest Federal and WTCN TV have purchased the broadcast rights of Minnesota Twins baseball games for the pleasure and convenience of the viewing audience. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of the Minnesota Twins, WTCN TV, or Midwest Federal.
The batter, Julio Cruz. First pitch down low. Cruz has a base hit and 4 at-bats. Slow-mo instant replays by Marv Swan. Our video, Bob Warner. Unit supervisor, Harvey Carlson. The audio by Randy Price. Our assistant directors have been Greg Beeson and Mike Knopfler. Throw to second, and just back in time is Larry Milbourne. Royce Smalley snuck in behind him and almost picked Milbourne off second base. Our studio director, Frank Stekowitz, and our director tonight, Ron Geiselhart. You write bad, Mike. 1 gone here in the top of the 9th with the Twins leading 10-2. Larry Milbourne at second base, and reliever Mike Marshall on here in the ninth. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Twins outfield straight away and very shallow for Cruz. Norwood very shallow in left. Rivera about midway in right. And Ford about midway in center. Wolf right up on the edge of the grass at third and about 3 steps off the line, guarding against the extra base hit. Changeup comes inside. May have been to Scroogey. 2 balls and a strike. Well, a big night for Rod Carew. 4 for 5 in the game. Jose Morales 3 for 5 in the game. Ground ball. Wolf has it at third. Looks the runner back and throws Cruz out. So there are 2 gone in the last of the ninth, or top of the ninth.
Shortstop Craig Reynolds.
And Craig Reynolds will be the batter. He represents the last hope for the Mariners. Milbourne still at second, where he's been since he doubled to open the inning. And of course, the biggest blow of all for the Twins tonight, Mike Cubbage's 3rd career Grand Slam home run as a Twin and his 4th as a major league ball player. See, Cubby's hit one every year since he became a Twin.
That's right.
Craig Reynolds, the shortstop. 2 for 4 in the game. First pitch is upstairs and a little outside. There's Mike Marshall. On to do the mopping up for the Twins here in the ninth as Gary Serum goes the first 8. Reynolds pokes it into left field. Milbourne will be held up at third as Willie Norwood was playing shallow, and he guns the throw down the line to the plate, cut off by Marshall. So Reynolds is on at first with his 3rd hit of the night for the Mariners, but they do not score as they did not elect to take the chance of sending Milbourne home.
There you got a good look at the screwball thrown by Mike Marshall, and Reynolds handled it very well. He slapped it right in the hole between short and third. Base hit for Reynolds. We have runners at first and third, 2 out here in the 9th inning.
Here's Rupert Jones. He's 1 for 4, a double in the 3rd, with runners at first and third now here in the top of the 9th. Fastball inside, ball 1. Did he go? No, he didn't. The plate umpire, Rich Garcia, checks with third base umpire Marty Springstead. So the Mariners making it tough on the Twins here in the top of the 9th, refusing to roll over and play dead, despite the fact they're down by 8. Marshall slips that one in over the outside corner, but down too low. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, don't forget our next Twins telecast, the 15th of August. From Cleveland, 6:30. Game time. Hope you'll be along. There's a high pop-up in the infield. Roy Smalley calling for it, waving everybody off, and that does it. For the Mariners in the 9th, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. The final score, the Minnesota Twins defeat the Seattle Mariners 10-2. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment.